stupid dog! You made me look bad!
John R Dilworth created an American animated comedy series for Cartoon Network named Courage the Cowardly Dog. The anxious dog, living with his elderly owners in the fictional town of Nowhere, plays the role of protector of the family against supernatural forces. The show made most of millennials' lives fun, but now that we've grown up, we can see beyond comedy and the underlying themes like loyalty, love, fear of the outside world, and loneliness. In today's video, we'll explore all the aspects of Courage's mindset, the monsters, and why they're attracted to the Bag's farmhouse. Before we begin, please take a moment to support our efforts and click on the like and subscribe buttons. And now buckle up to land right in the middle of nowhere. The isolated setting of Courage's house. The show is weaved around a kind but easily scared dog named Courage. A crazy veterinarian sets his parents into outer space, leaving Courage orphaned. Muriel Bagg is an elderly woman who lives with her husband in a farmhouse in Nowhere, Kansas. She discovers the lonely puppy in an alleyway, and she takes care of him on her own. Now Courage lives with Muriel and her cranky and greedy husband, Eustace Bagg, in their isolated farmhouse in Kansas. Where Muriel cares for Courage, Eustace is jealous of him and calls him a stupid dog. Eustace also uses an Ooga Booga mask to scare Courage. The farmhouse is located in a deserted area near a town named Nowhere. The family has no neighbors, authorities, or any establishments around. The farmhouse is the only building present in the vast, barren landscape. Courage and his new family often face supernatural or paranormal creatures, like zombies, aliens, and monsters. These creatures are drawn to the town of Nowhere. The majority of these creatures are feisty. Some of them suffer from anger, desperation, or distress. At the same time, some of them are also friendly. Monsters and supernatural threats, a weekly occurrence. Since the Bagg family encounters aliens and other creatures every week, Courage takes responsibility for protecting Muriel and Eustace. He repairs any damage done to the house or other belongings of the Bagg family, but mostly without the couple's knowledge. Courage shows both sides of his personality. He's a brave dog who protects his owners, but he's also easily frightened and distressed dramatically like a coward. Theories behind why monsters target the house. While the monsters that haunt the Baggs' home are believed to be real, fans have come up with alternative theories over time. Some fans speculate that the monsters and supernatural creatures shown in the show are not even real. They're the result of Courage's overdramatic imagination. The theory is not absolute, since we can find a few instances that contradict it. Courage is a frightened dog, and the reason behind it can be traced to his origin. In the Remembrance of Courage's Past episode, it's confirmed that Courage's parents were sent into outer space by a crazy veterinarian, leaving Courage alone before Muriel brings him home. This experience of dwelling in the streets alone must be traumatic and has scarred young Courage's mind. Muriel accepted him when he was lonely. Perhaps that's why Courage is determined to protect his elderly owners with fierceness. Courage usually stays at home and hasn't explored anything beyond that, which explains the location of his house, which is an isolated place. There are limitations to Courage's exploration of his surroundings because of Eustace and Muriel's old age. The elderly couple cannot take Courage on a walk. Many of the monsters on the show have a logical explanation behind their appearance. To understand it, we can take weremoles as an example. The creature appears in the Night of the Weremole episode and may represent an animal that has contracted rabies. If it had bitten Muriel, she could have become more violent before getting treated. Hunchback from the Hunchback of Nowhere might be a kind man with unique deformities. The animal-like appearance of the creatures can be explained by the fact that Courage has not met many people in life. The audience looks at Courage's interpretation of his world and these creatures. The cat shown in the episode Cats may be a nefarious business owner who dislikes dogs. The contradiction can be seen in the example of King Ramses. He appears as a terrifying pharaoh spirit. King Ramses terrorizes Courage's family until they return his slab. In a nutshell, the monsters in the show are very real, and strange things happen nowhere. The role of Courage, protector against the unknown. Courage is grateful for Muriel's kindness and care. This might be why Courage is adamant about protecting Muriel from the unknown, which is understandable. But you must wonder why he'd save Eustace with the same determination when the man doesn't like him. A simple answer is that Courage is a kind and inherently good dog, and a good dog always protects its master. Another possible reason might be Muriel's love for her husband. Courage fears Muriel will be hurt if anything happens to Eustace. Courage must also be grateful to Eustace for letting him live in his house, although he doesn't like Courage.
'Tisn't the windmill moving, it's us!
The symbolism of nowhere and the house. Nowhere is used as a symbol of courage and his elderly owner's isolation. The eerie and barren landscape is used efficiently to portray the emotional isolation of these characters, especially Courage. He's often a lonely warrior in his battles against the monsters. The farmhouse where Eustace Bagg and Mariel Bagg live is surrounded by large empty fields with no other house or living entity within miles. Nowhere is disconnected from any external intervention or support. Thus, Courage has to face the terrifying monsters on his own with little to no aid. This isolation of the location and the house enhances the show's horror elements. Since there are no neighbors or any other help around, the Bagg family is vulnerable to attacks by supernatural creatures. Every encounter with these supernatural forces is a life or death situation for the Bagg family and Courage, because they have no assistance or safety net. The spooky environment increases the tension. Courage is constantly on edge and anxious, making viewers sympathize with the poor dog. The isolation of Nowhere also represents the idea of loneliness and being alone in the universe. The house is the only haven for Courage. He has nothing to hold dear to his heart in that isolated place. This is why he goes to extreme lengths to protect the only safe place for his owners and himself. Many of the monsters in the show manifest these fears of the Bagg family and Courage. Thus, Nowhere represents the fear of the unknown and alienation.
Return this land.
What?
Monsters as metaphors for real-life fears. The monsters that terrorize Courage and threaten his owner's safety may not be real. If we follow this theory, Courage's fears may have created these monsters. Their grotesque appearance is influenced by how Courage perceives the world. He has no understanding of or experience with the outside world, and that makes him exaggerate what other people consider normal problems. But for Courage, these normal problems are no less than catastrophic events. That may be why Eustace and Muriel do not react in such situations as dramatically as Courage, and aren't that afraid of these monsters. For example, Freaky Fred can be Courage's perception of the fear of cutting his hair. The theory that the monsters in the show are not real is confirmed and rejected at the same time. In Powerpuff Girls Super Smash Up, at first the Powerpuff Girls react to one of the monsters shown. It suggests these monsters do exist, but then the readers learn that Courage is hallucinating the Powerpuff Girls' appearance, where he initially sees them as scarier than they look. Recurring villains and their connection to the house. Courage the Cowardly Dog has some memorable antagonists who bring horror elements to the show. Some villains appear frequently on the show. One of them is Katz, who greatly terrorizes Courage. Katz runs a shady business to mask his villainy. Katz targets his victims. He then kills and feeds them to his monsters. Katz is the biggest threat Courage encounters in the show and makes the most frequent appearances in it. Katz has elaborate schemes, which makes it entertaining to see how his evil plans unfold. His cunning and brutal personality starkly contrasts Courage's kind and loyal personality. Because of his high number of appearances in the show, Katz is one of the most famous villains from it. Another recurring villain from the show is the Black Puddle Queen. This seductive villain is one of the most deceptive evildoers in the show. Her beauty is mesmerizing only until she exposes her true appearance. It's a horrifying sight that comes out when she starts feeding. She terrifies Courage, trying to target Eustace. The Black Puddle Queen seduces men before killing them. She's killed many men this way using her seduction techniques, and this is proven by the number of skeletons present in her lair. Fan theories. Is it all in Courage's mind? One of the most intriguing and popular fan theories about the show Courage the Cowardly Dog suggests that all the villains shown in the show are not real. They're simply exaggerated representations of Courage's anxiety and fears. This theory further suggests that the monsters are everyday occurrences or normal people, but Courage misinterprets them because of his overprotective and fearful nature. Courage is the only one witnessing the bizarre events and encounters these terrifying monsters, while Muriel and Eustace seem unbothered by them. It shows that everything that Courage sees is all in his head. The world around him is quite mundane. Thus, every uncommon occurrence alerts Courage and triggers his insecurities and fears. Courage's fierce will to protect Muriel and Eustace makes him apprehensive of strangers and any event that is an exception to his mundane life. While Courage is anxious and panicking, Muriel is mostly oblivious and calm, while Eustace is his usual self, dismissive and grumpy. If these monsters existed, the couple must have felt strange things and reacted more strongly, right? But their nonchalant behavior strengthens the theory. All monsters shown in the show have specific characters. Some look hideous, like Bigfoot, while others are pretty on the outside but vicious on the inside, like the Black Puddle Queen. As an audience, we look at these monsters through Courage's lens. These monsters are reflections of Courage's exaggerated emotional state and manifestations of his fears. Courage's traumatic past and his perception of the world make him fearful. He sees every normal thing in the world as some dangerous trouble. However, the damage caused by these villainous monsters is visible and real. If these monsters are only in Courage's head, shouldn't this damage be fictional too? In some of the episodes of Courage the Cowardly Dog, characters other than Courage interact or react to these monsters. This implies that these monsters may be real entities in Courage's world. Courage symbolizes love for his owners and anxiety to protect them. Marvelous verdict. Courage's house is the focal point in this world. Various fan theories propose that the house is cursed or that it is a portal that attracts hideous monsters, while some believe these monsters are only manifestations of Courage's perception of worldly things. What makes the show entertaining is Courage's attempt at protecting his owners and his loyalty. We hope you liked this video. Let us know which topic you want us to make another video on, and we'll bring it to you. See you in the next one. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone!